What's up, everybody? Still excited, still riding high off that Detroit Lions victory off the Panthers. And I get it. They were 0-4. We should beat them. We should take care of business. But in this game, there is something that I realized. And you see the title. There's one major difference from last year. But before I tell you what it is, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment? What do you think is the biggest difference from this team from last year or years past to what this team is doing this year to have us at a 4-1 start? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give you more than one. I am, because I'm just too excited not to talk about it. But with that being said, leave that comment. What do you think is the biggest difference? And I never do this, but subscribe, like, and we actually have another channel that we've started. I never talk about it. It's called Sports Talk Extra. We're doing other teams that we feel are kind of in a similar boat to the Lions, which is meaning the media, the national media kind of ignores them, and they're a small media market team. And so we kind of like that. So if you want to look at other teams and hear the same breakdowns and like what we're doing, go check out Sports Talk Extra. But what is that one big thing? What is that major difference? And for me, the major difference has been what I like to call complementary football. If you remember me last year, it felt like every single week when the Lions would lose, even if they'd win, for the longest time, I would come up and I would be like, when are they going to play complementary football? Like, when are both the and what do I mean by complementary football? Well, that's multifaceted. So in that, the first part of it is how well does the offense play overall and how well does the defense play overall? I was going through last year's schedule. We did not play complementary football at all until November 20th against the New York Giants. It was the only time that we got a win where both the offense and the defense played at a high level. November 20. And then I would make the argument that we didn't play complementary football again. I mean, it was December 4th against the Jags. And then I would say against the Bears on January 1st. Other than that, even I know what you're thinking. What about the last game against the Packers, 2016? Like, the offense wasn't great. They helped at the end. But like, I would say there were three very clear games where we played complementary football, and where the offense and defense played in such a way where the game was never in doubt. This year, I can make the argument that we've already had three of those games. I would make the argument the first one was against the Falcons, and I understand the offense only scored 20, but the defense was so good that the offense just had to be okay, and they were. And then last week, we played complementary football in a big and quite frankly, easy victory. Okay. In that one. And so, I mean, I'm trying to remember exactly what the score was, but yeah, 34-20 against the Packers. And then this week, of course, we played complementary football as well. But complementary football goes beyond just offense and defense. It goes into the little nitty gritty of what did the team do? What did the team do? And so I have two more ways complementary football kind of comes together. So let's first look at the offense. Run attack versus the passing attack. So far this year, the run game has been effective enough, but it has not been explosive. This was the first time where we ran the ball at a clip of over 4 or 5 yards per carry. We had 30 total carries for 160 yards. David Montgomery was fantastic. Craig Reynolds was really, really good. In some ways better. Some of that was garbage time, but that was still there. And overall, the team ended up, and between the two of them, they had 159 yards, 161 yards on 26 carries. All right. If it wasn't for Teddy Bridgewater's 2 kneels, that's where we would have stood. So the team went really, really well. Over 5 yards per carry, closing in on 5.5 if you take out the kneel downs. All right. The passing offense was just as good. It was efficient. It was 236 yards on the ground. I'm not saying that it had a ton of yards or through the air. I'm not saying there was a ton of yards through the air, but 20 of 28. You turn it into 3 touchdowns. You spread the ball around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I guess I can present to you what I'm looking at here. Sometimes you like seeing another screen, and I get that. Okay. So here you go. But 8 different receivers, none with more than 4. So when you have a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown missing, you get to spread the ball around. Okay. And sometimes that's how they do it. Like in the past, it's been, oh, heavy Reynolds, heavy Laporta. I loved it. I love seeing Marvin Jones Jr. actually get a couple of catches and look like Marvin Jones Jr., actually creating separation to an extent, but he's always been a contested catch guy. So to be able to watch him do that was kind of fun again. But all this alludes back to the offensive line just played pretty well. They opened up good holes in the running game. They gave ample time to Goff. I wouldn't say it was great time. I wouldn't say that, but it was good. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. How well did we play against the run and against the pass? This is the worst our run defense has been. I don't know what it is with the Panthers, but it was never bad. And you could tell it was very clear without Brian Branch in the secondary and without CJ Gardner Johnson. Don't forget that he's still out. Like, let's not forget about that. That there was an effect there. And then the horrible news about Mosley with the ACL, and they're confirming now that he did indeed re-tear the ACL. Like, I hate that. You watch it live and you're like, yeah, you see it. But you had other guys step up. Without those 2 guys there, you could tell they were just playing a little bit of, all right, let's keep everything in front of us and let's just go up and make the tackle and make them make plays when it counts. And for the most part, they just couldn't do it. So I think they may have actually outgained us, but they didn't even come close to outscoring us. We won the turnover battle. All those types of things that are just absolutely massive. Create 3 turnovers, don't commit a turnover. That's the third phase of complementary football. So first you have the team offense, defense. I guess that's the fourth phase. Then you have the offense, running, passing, defense, rushing, passing, and then turnovers. All of it was complementary football. And then the last thing that I'm going to say for complementary football, and I don't even know if this necessarily counts, is you have players making up for other players that lost time due to injury. When you go into this game and you're telling me we're not going to have Jahmyr Gibbs, we're not going to have St. Brown, we're not going to have Brian Branch. I mean, those have been 3 very integral parts of our victories recently. And then you're already telling me we're without CJ Gardner Johnson and Halapalui Vati Vaitai. That's 5 starters. It's almost a fourth of your starters out. That's a big deal. And I'm not saying I'm counting Gibbs as a starter because he plays quite a bit of snaps. And he's an integral part of this offense and part of the passing game and running game. So to be able to see them all gone and have it seem like they're not gone, that is other players stepping up. That is other players stepping up. Having Tracy Walker from he's not going to play to he's playing like crazy. Last couple games before this, Ifeatu Melifonwu was playing well. You know, you have Charles Harris doing his best. Jerry Jacobs played his best game. All right, I know he had 2 picks against the Packers, but this was his best game. And in my very humble, not always correct opinion. So like you have that kind of stuff going on and you just kind of realize like this team just wins. They have a winning mentality. It's over. Jared Goff said it. This team's more mature. They're just more mature. And he feels like they've gotten to that level. And he said, no offense to the Panthers, they're a great team. I just feel like we're at a different stage than them and we're better. And this is a game we should win. And he's right. And they did. That's complementary football. That is how you win at the NFL. And that is how the Lions are 4-1. And it's going to keep going. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Comment, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.